Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Starsector, and we're taking a look at this game. We're still working through the tutorial. The previous two episodes, we've been kind of kicking around some of the terms and learning a little bit about how the game world works. And I did go ahead and save things off, and I'm bringing it back in. What we want to do is go ahead and go back to where we ended, and I just wanted to show this real simple thing. First of all, when you first come into a game, it'll be paused. Space will unpause it. But when you're next to a station, just clicking on it, boom, you're there. And in fact, clicking on the planet, it'll go to the planet, but you're also there. The planet and the station are effectively the same thing. So this is where we ended the previous episode, and we've got a mission to go find an AI core that is outside of the asteroid belt near the planet Pontus. We're going to go ahead and go that way. So we're going to leave, which is where we just were really. And we're going to kind of click over here to start moving in the right direction. But then we're going to open the map. And we're going to go to Pontus first. I want to, so we can show the info on the planet. It's the second planet from the sun. There's a mining station. This will show you all the assets in the area. And it will also show you who owns them, if anyone. So that's the hegemony. Then this is a fully surveyed gas giant owned by no one. Then there are the pirates, and then there is Tetra, which is a barren planet. Part of the game is colonizing worlds and building industries up. We're not going to do that for quite a while, but it is one of the reasons we have this information, is eventually it can become very important. In fact, clicking on any particular world shows us more information about it. Hazard rating being high is bad. Low hazard rating is good, but this one already has a colony on it, so we wouldn't be able to do that. Notice that the gas giant has a much higher hazard rating than the barren world, way out in the edge. And then these are just some items to know about the planet if you choose to start looking into colonization and things like that. Let's take it back to the show on map. That's where that was. We want to head this way. So we're going to right click there and set our course. We're going to actually visit the station. It is outside of the tutorial, but it is a step we're allowed to do, and we can continue with the tutorial. And we're heading over here anyway, so let's just go ahead and do it. And we are fired up, going full speed, passing kind of close-ish to the sun, but not too close. And we're eating resources. You watch them chew away as we go. This is our sensor range. This is our footprint, basically, how big we show up to other ships. I don't think this is considered an asteroid belt, so I think you can fly right through that. And touching the planet, we will go to the base. I'm sorry, my mistake. This particular one, the planet is separate from the base, and that is kind of obvious when you look at it. If you roll over it, it says fully surveyed, but it does not say that it is a part of like the hegemony or anything like that. This says it's independent when we actually looked at it on the map. If this were independent and this were independent, then probably it would be the same thing. Just like when we were over here, the planet, hegemony size 5, and then the station is hegemony size 5. You'll notice that's the orbital station. That's the arid world, but they are the same thing in that collection. Over here, it is a little different. My apologies for that. I kind of forgot about that little nuance. So we do want to fly directly to the station then. And because we have the sustained burn on, we don't turn very tight. So we're going to kill that so that we can indeed do that. As you approach the stark white Taurus hulls of Galatia Academy Station, your request to the automated docking queue is denied. The codes are hegemony. After a moment, the comms link opens to a hegemony sigil. Encryption kicks in and your view screen cuts to a harried-looking hegemony lieutenant using a handheld comms unit. Apologies, Captain. The Academy is closed during the crisis. I have to ask you to leave immediately. An adjutant leans into frame. An adjutant leans into frame and whispers something in his ear. Oh, you're the freelancer my CO on Insira got to help us out? He relaxes his tone. I'm Lieutenant Scene K. We're carrying out the investigation into who screwed up here while you take care of the problem out there. I wish you luck, Captain, because if you don't solve this, it's going to get ugly. And we can ask him what's going on, and it leads to more conversation. I suppose you're technically in the chain of command as an auxiliary. We arrested the provost of the academy on a screen full of charges, endangering space infrastructure, negligence of habitability protocols, gross conspiracy to manipulate unauthorized technologies. It goes on. And by old Earth, you note his jaw clenching unconsciously. He earned it. Uh-oh. What did he do? We were briefed about the experiment. It was only supposed to cause a minor increase in comms noise, maybe some odd readings near the jump points. Nothing like this. Obviously, something more was going on, something big enough that the provost had to know about it. And the lieutenant's adjutant whispers in his ear again. If you're not mistaken, there is shouting in the background, barely picked up by the lieutenant's handheld comm unit. The mob grows restless. The lieutenant says this with a joyless smile. He barks some orders to someone. The hollow feed jostles and flickers with static as they begin to move. We'll chat later, Captain. I'll buy you a pint on the station someday if you can get us out of this mess. Okay, well, that's the introduction to what's happening in the scenario with the Academy Station. We'll come back to it again in the near future. For now, we're going to travel to where we were kind of told to go, and that was near Pontus on the other side of the asteroid belt. And we're just going to go through. That was a hit. So, okay, if I hold S, I will come to a complete stop. And if I hold my mouse button, I'll move slowly towards that spot. So that's how you do that, to move slowly. And oh my goodness, we didn't even have to use the ping, the active sensor burst. We can see something over here. We're going to hit it anyway. That's what an active sensor burst does. And look at that. Domain era probe. Well, that is what we're looking for. So we're going to go to it. Laying in a course for domain era probe. And boom, there it is. So your fleet approaches a domain era probe left from the initial domain exploration of the sector. Pitted by small impacts, the probe's hull displays iridescence typical of fearsome radiation scarring. Though this probe's manufacturer could well date to 1,000 cycles ago, some systems are still nominally active. We're going to explore it. As your fleet moves in closer, several energy signatures are detected coming online inside the probe's hold. Okay. The automated defenses that we were told about are indeed kicking in. So we're going to want to pay attention to that. And you'll notice down here, it gives us a little hint of what floating over this means. If you inflict enough damage before retreating, you will be able to disengage without being pursued. Okay, that's just kind of typical, but we're going to engage the defenses. And do we want to transfer command for this engagement? No, we do not. We'll take care of it with our ship. I think what we'll do is, in fact, we probably should have transferred command, and we should have just used the carrier. But I think what we'll do is we'll use ours, and we'll bypass the carrier. We'll go with the combat freighter. This one should be a fairly quick battle. And we did that so that we're kind of saving some of our supply. We don't have to use every last ounce of everything we have. So the guys are smart enough, they'll start moving forward in that, but we're going to go ahead and hit U to ensure that we have autopilot on. And we can see here, yeah, what's this? Ah, a second ship. There's two of them. We've launched some missiles. They'll try to track that down. And our freighter was able to take care of it. Now he's venting his flux. You'll notice his flux went down, and now he's going to start addressing this one. His shield is now up, and he's doing what he can. Their hull is taking damage. They have no shield left. Apparently never had a shield. And this should be just a matter of time. That missile might... Nope. Okay, the missile hit it. Didn't finish it. There it goes, and we're done. We can hit escape and claim victory. Okay. Continue. Your forces were able to gain a complete victory in the last engagement. Your forces were able to recover some combat readiness. That's always good. Pick through the wreckage. All right. Well, we have this. We'll take it all. And we will continue. We gain some experience as your fleet finishes mopping up the automated defenses. A weak hyperwave ping is detected coming from the probe. It's unclear if it is random noise from a dying subsystem or some kind of encrypted signal. Your fleet finishes its approach to the domain era probe without further incident. We're going to begin salvage operations. And so this is the actual probe itself. It's got all sorts of stuff on it, including this gem. This is the AI core that we were looking for. This is a gamma level core. It is worth 10,000 credits. The different levels have different values and different uses. For us, it's a matter of it being a quest item. So we'll chase that down, but there's also some organics. There's some metals, machines, fuel, and supplies. We will always take all of those. And this is part of the reason that I go ahead and take the industrial path initially. I have plenty of space for all of it. We'll take it. We're up to 837, which would have exceeded our space initially, if I recall. So we are in good shape there. And then we will continue. We now have it. So deliver the AI core to the station commander. Well, that makes sense. So we will fly back to the station. And of course, I could have done that a lot easier because I, first of all, didn't do it at all. But if I right-clicked, remember that you can do the right-click, that would be really, really helpful moving forward. And we're going to go ahead and engage the sustained burn. And when we approach the asteroid belt, I will slow down right about now. And we will wait until we're through it. And then let her go again. And we'll speed back up to 16. While we're going, we can do things like these pings. It does slow you down briefly. It does also turn off your sustained burn. So do keep that in mind. But it is something you can do. We could also do the interdiction, but there's nobody nearby to interdict, so there's no need to do that. You may notice, I'm pretty sure when we started, the station was kind of up this way more, right? We kind of went past the sun a little bit to get to it. All the stuff in the system is orbiting, and it will move around. You'll notice that the mining station is way up here now. It had been over here. So I don't know that it follows perfect Newtonian physics, that, you know, this will go very, very quickly compared to that. Kind of doesn't even look like it. I would think that this would have moved about this far, and this has moved like this far, and it looks like they've moved about the same. But nonetheless, do know that the maps are not static. They will move around some. Security detachment, making sure we're obeying the law. We had our transponders on, so we were good. Open the comm directory. Mia Chapman. Paid us again. Gotta love that. Solid work. I'll get my technicians working on this right away. In the meantime, this should cover your expenses, hopefully with a good amount left over. I'd say that's true. We didn't have a whole lot of, of expenses, although we do need to start thinking about supplying up a little bit. And we gave her the Gamma Core. Well, we had to do that. And we improved our relationships. That's good. And now notice we are favorable now that we're at 12. So I think the threshold is 10. Getting to 10 or so, we go into favorable mode with her. That's got to be good. I will say I don't exactly know what that does to relationships in that. We're going to continue. And now she's given us another task to do. I'll send you the stabilization algorithm when the core works it up. Once you have it, it should be a simple matter of running it using your fleet's drive field as a means of interacting with the jump point. However, there's still a matter of the miners guarding both jump points. And you said the forces are significant. Yes, she did. Well, it's relative. Our security detachment could handle them easily, but as I've mentioned, it's tied down defending. Yep. Your fleet, on the other hand, you might be able to handle them with some stellar piloting and a bit of luck, but it's best not to take such chances. Very true, especially when there's an alternative. There's an alternative. Yes, there's an alternative. There's a ship graveyard around Tetra. Tetra is that barren world that we know about. And ships that were deemed not worth the effort to restore, awaiting bulk transit to one of the shipbreaking facilities, they're basically parked there. Now, though, they'll serve our needs. Go there and recover all the ships you can and break the ones you can't for supplies. Make sure to bring enough crew to operate the recovered ships. Perhaps an extra 100 or so will do. You'll need to transport them somehow too. Here, take this mud skipper transport. Consider it a part of your reward. We're being given a ship. That just seems crazy. It's a civilian transport. Civilian transports and military transports will be different. One of the bigger things is the civilian transport is easy to spot from half a galaxy away. So that size of your fleet does make a difference. It has to do with how noticeable you are on the map. But we'll take it for now. Thank you. I'll return with the ships. Now we will go ahead and talk about the refitting and things like that. So let's go to trade goods. And this is basically the store, the market, however you want to look at it. In the cargo trade screen, you can left click to pick up a stack, shift click to pick up items from the stack one at a time, shift click and hold and then drag to a specific quantity, or control click to transfer everything at once. Okay, good to know. Now we're going to go ahead and sell the things that we really don't need. That'll be the metal, and we're going to do a control click. And I'll move it all. We don't need this little cannon, and we don't need the organics. Those are all basically trade goods for us right now. And so selling all of that comes to about 15,000 credits, but you'll notice there is a 30% tax. But we will receive about 11,000 credits here right now. And then buying stuff also impacts you with tariffs. So we can buy these. Wow, supplies are of low supply. They have a low supply of supplies right now. 277 is a ton to be spending on supplies. Usually it's about 100. So we don't want to buy those right now. Even though we could use them, we don't want to buy them. Fuel, that looks kind of high. And you'll notice it says local deficit. 6,000 units can be sold at a higher price. If we were to sell ours, we'd get 69 cents per unit. That's not bad at all. Thing is we want ours in the long run, so we're not going to sell it just yet. And they don't have machinery to sell. So that's about it. The other thing we can do is up our crew just a little bit. $32 per crew member. I wouldn't think of it as buying them. I would think of it as hiring them. And we're going to go ahead and do just that. I'm going to hold shift and we're going to hire, let's hire like, I don't know, 50. We do have a pretty good number of crew members already. So that bumps up our tariff by another 1,000 almost. And yeah, you know what? We're going to go ahead. Let's do another 25. I don't know. It's at 100 and I guess it probably is paying closer attention than I am. We want to be able to get the ships that we want. I think that'll be enough, though. I don't think we have to go much over that. The rest of these are like trade goods, and eventually we can learn when things have good prices or not. So when we sold those organics, we got a pretty good price for those because they are in deficit right now. Everything is in deficit. Oh, well, of course everything's in deficit. The sector is cut off. Yeah, so that makes sense. I don't know what I was thinking. We would expect that to be the case right now. Okay, and we're going to confirm all that. And you'll notice there's also a black market. When you use the black market, you start to become suspicious to the authorities. So you have to be a little careful. But in general, we can hire folks. We can sell stuff. You don't pay tax when you hire or sell in the black market. You can also work with illegal goods. We don't necessarily want to do that regularly. That's not illegal, but organs are harvested organs for transplants. Yeah. So you do want to be mindful of that. Some things are illegal with some factions that aren't with others. I think this is like recreational drugs. Some places totally okay, others not at all. So do keep that in mind. So we have the open market. We pay taxes on those things. Black market, we don't, but you start to get flagged. You'll notice at the bottom there, suspicion level, none. We have no suspicion yet. If we start buying stuff here, our suspicion will go up. We can buy fuel for 70 units here, and we can sell fuel for 69 units here. That's interesting. Here it would be, well, it is 70. Okay. I thought that would be a little bit more of a difference. Nonetheless, we are done with this screen. I'm going to go ahead and click that. Nope, that won't do it. We will just escape out and repair our ships at the dockyard. We could do that, but I don't think they need it. Your fleet undergoes full repairs and it restores to maximum combat readiness at the cost of 2 supplies. That's all it cost us. That's fine. So we did that. Okay. I think we will do the next mission in the next episode. That is where we're going to go out and visit the boneyard and see if there's any ships that we can recover. This is Starsector. It is a fantastic indie game that is done by a one-man shop, and it is kept up to date very well. It's updated yearly at least. I think sometimes it's been a little bit more frequently than that. Lately it's been long development cycle, but the game is entirely playable right now, and it is a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, fair travels.